Hey there, and welcome to Hot Seat. And we are here to explore the reasons of why. What's the why? What's the purpose? What drives business owners to do what they do? I'm your host, Kelvin Holiday, and I am enjoying the fact that we can explore people's why and motivate others. So stay tuned for this exciting new episode. 15 minutes, fast paced. Let's do it. So welcome to another episode of Hot Seat, and have I got somebody very special for you. This is a gentleman, a man, a mate, bloke, whatever you like to call him, that I've known for quite some years. Alex Solti. He is an absolute gem of a guy and a true entrepreneur. Multiple things happening, and he just keeps focused, and he's always got that smile. So Alex, come in, show us the smile, mate.
How you going, Kel?
Good, buddy. Really good to see you. And
Yeah.
welcome to Hot Seat.
Thank you.
Mate, we're going to actually give you a couple of questions, mate. This is all about just raw, feel free to say what you want when you want it. So, mate,
Absolutely.
we're going to start off with, who is Alex? What's the family, background, work, pleasure? Tell us just anything you want to tell us about Alex.
It's a really good question. I've often actually thought, who I am and where I've come from. And, I was a guy that was always, didn't really know where he was heading in life. I went through school. I loved school, from primary school to high school, absolutely loved school. I think I was really liked in by many groups and many, different variety of people, because I think it was a matter of really getting out there and just enjoying it. But as far as study goes, I wasn't your study person. I loved the sports, loved all of that. And just, by the end of year 12, I decided that I had no idea what I was going to do. And I was hoping no one would be disappointed with me, but I knew I was going to do something good. But, I landed a job straight away, went straight into the workforce and, popped around a few things. I think I had 13 jobs in my first year. And it was, all different. And the only way I remember that is because we had those little group certificates for tax time, and they all came in the mail, and I was looking at all my jobs. So I started to build a resume there, but really loved it. Loved hospitality, went into the hospitality game, went into the real estate game, did a lot of door knocking jobs, cold calling. And I suppose it all was around people. And, many, many years down the track, I felt that dealing with people and working with people and really interacting with people was what I loved doing. And someone told me down the track that, hey, you're really good at it. So, I tried to focus my whole, workforce around that. But one thing happened very funny. It was sort of I don't know if you call it that aha moment. I enjoyed making money. So I was trying to find ways that I could actually make money. I did so many different things. If someone offered me an opportunity, I was your man. I tried many things and failed so many times and never really made that, that cut where you could sort of say, hey, this guy's actually made some serious money out of something. So, eyes wide open still. And today I still have eyes wide open. I connect with a lot of people and things have really gone 360 with me now. So there's a lot of good things coming into play. But my background is in finance. I left sales and went into finance and found a niche that I never thought. I mean, here's a guy that failed mathematics and was starting to deal with, finance figures and numbers and things like that. But the bottom line is you're still dealing with people, and people have to like and trust you, right? So moving fast forward, I did my finance career and then did very, very well. I did, excelled in a number of areas in the finance space and made a lot of good connections. 2014, I actually stepped out and decided to start my own business. And that's still running today. I've got a mortgage business and I do all sorts of different loans and things like that. But, it's still, as much as I was doing my own business, I working from home, I found that I missed the talking to people in the office environment. And my previous boss reached out to me one day and said to me, hey, we'd really love you to come back. Our finance seemed to go down a little bit. Would you like to come back and build it up again? And going back as a choice to, a job and a company that was moving very, very fast in the caravan recreational space, I absolutely found that I really loved that environment. But it continued to give me that yes, I was making some money and I worked very, very hard. But at the same time, when you love what you do, the hard work doesn't really make
Yeah,
much
it's
of
not really work. It's not really work, is it? Like
no,
it's
no.
it's just another day of meeting some more people and having a chat.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, and there's a few things that I learned, through the years, and there's a lot of people sit there and go, why do you keep yourself motivated? And I think the first thing is really keeping your mind right.
Mm.
You've got to be open to what's out there. Don't always look at, the things that are, there's always negatives to something. But if you keep your mind right and you keep your thoughts open to what possibilities are, and that's helped me move forward in what I'm doing as well. I'm very, very passionate. If someone gives me a role, I take that role on 100%. So, and I
Mm.
love to share with, I work with some amazing sales guys right across Australia, which is, as we've spoken in the past, I do a lot of shows now, and interaction with people is really what we love doing, So I still look at, I collaborate with a number of business guys after, every week, and that's created, more opportunities where, not necessarily from a financial space, but working with people to create business and help people find what they're looking for. So I love that, the side hustle, the side venture. And it's the guys at the CC Connect Collaborative are just amazing. So I'm really enjoying it. I think I've found what I'm doing, and here we are today.
But and that's true. And the reality was that we'd known each other for a long time, and you
Yeah,
mentioned CC Connect Collaborative, and it's a great, great, great group of people who come together to collaborate and do some joint ventures and stuff.
yeah,
But we'd actually known each other for quite some time. It was quite interesting. We've been part of another group, and I went, oh, Alex. It was sort of like we didn't really build that relationship until the Connect
yeah,
Collaborative, and we've gone on, and it's been marvelous. But mate, what I've always seen in you is the smile. Like,
yeah,
and let's face it, and I want to be real to the listeners that business sometimes gets damn tough, and you
absolutely.
can't always get out of bed and smile. But every time I see you, and some of us can put on a false smile, but you always have got that energy. Like you've got a positivity about you. Where does that come from?
Oh wow, I didn't, and thanks for that. I really appreciate it. Look, I think the more today, when you look at, if you love what you do, and as far as not just work, it could be, where your life's heading, and like I've got my boys are growing up now, and a couple of them are already, out of school, and my stepkids as well. They're all, I've got so many things that I've got to be grateful for.
Mm.
I do. I'm a very odd person. I'm not someone who sits in the car and listens to music or news in the morning. I can't do that. For some reason, years and years and years ago, someone told me to, keep your mind right. So if I'm having I start to the morning and I've got something that's on my mind, I always have listened to stuff going to work, or there's so much good material out there, and you hear stories about people, which keeps you going. Don't get me wrong. I have my bad days. I'm someone who, if I have a bad day, oh my goodness, and I have to go, how do I fix that? And that's where my wife balances me out a lot too.
Yeah, having that life partner is good, but
Yeah,
look, that's what Hot Seat here is about. It's having somewhere to go. Yeah, listening to the music can calm us down, but how do you get motivated? Yeah, calming down is one thing. You might want to get your
correct.
stress level down, but you've got to get your headspace back right again. And
Yeah,
and so that's what motivated me to make Hot Seat.
yeah,
Is so often you're just getting down and down and down,
yeah,
and trying to pick yourself back up. But where do you go for it? And yeah, and so that's great. You're having your music, but also having that input,
correct.
challenging your mind, challenging your mindset. I love that. So, okay then. So let me now put you on the spot. Who's some of the people you listen to? When you're
Wow.
really wanting to, who are some of those people, or where do you go? What's been the key to really keep you moving?
There's such a broad thing. I mean, I love Jim Rohn. I just love the guy.
Yeah.
He's moved on now, but he's had so many good. He's just got a unique way of expressing things that not many people can actually do. So he really keeps you thinking. You've got your Tony Robbins. You've got I think his name's Jim Quick, the guy that does the mind. The mind
Yeah.
remind memories, and just an incredible guy. Jay Shetty, love Jay Shetty.
Yeah.
And of course, you've got oh God, I've just had a total blank. I went and actually saw him live. But there's no real one person, Kel. you know, I've actually even your Instagram and you see people that are successful in businesses. So when you see what they do, I aspire to, if I go, hey, this is a target that I'm looking at, and I'll Google who's done really well. And most of those guys are on social media. And this is all free information. And they talk about the things they do and the success they're having. And when you hear that, you just, wow, that's where you want to head. So, you know, it's keeping yourself going. Have something to keep yourself excited about. You know, it's not just wake up in the morning. You can't just be positive and go, well, life's good, but I don't know where I'm going. You've got to have something that you drive for, you know?
One of the ones, there's two that, and I'll put it on here for the people to listen to. One for me is Maxwell. John Maxwell. He's great speaker, leadership, getting over those hurdles. The other one is Darren Hardy. He actually has a podcast called Darren Daily. Have a look him up. Two really good ones. Darren Daily, I do him daily, but his name is Darren Hardy.
I remember that.
He's a cracker, and sometimes he gets a little bit salesy, but 90% of his time is about inputting and answering questions that have come to him from the community. So some really good content there. So, mate, you've actually, I know you've got into the finance side of things, but you've always loved travel. And I'm over here in Thailand. I love traveling around. So, and you've got into a travel environment, helping out people to get some cheaper verbs of travel. We might actually get you back a little bit later on, and help to explore that a little bit more over in tool time. But what's like when I call you an entrepreneur because, as I said, you've got a mortgage business, you've got a finance business, you're traveling around doing expos, you're doing the whole tourism and holiday packages, and so good, and cruises and so much stuff. I guess when I ask a lot of businesses, there's been a lot of teaching out there say focus on one thing. Okay. But I know you have success at multiple things. All right. How do you keep your focus on multiple things without losing focus on one or two at a time?
That's so true. And I think in my early years, that's what I was one of those guys. If you bounced a shiny ball, I was chasing it. So when there were multiple shiny balls, and that's what happens, you look at something and then someone says there's something good over here, and I'm like, wow, how can you do that? And the first thing I had to learn to do, which was the most difficult thing, because I don't like saying no to people. Right. And I heard it in a podcast, and I wish I could tell you where I heard it from, but it became something that was repetitive. It's okay to say no. If you can connect with people, but I think people respect you when you say, look, that's a really good opportunity, or thank you for showing me that. But right now, this is where my focus is. And it's always that question of, I know that person, if I can connect that person. So as far as what you just asked and how do you stay focused on is I've now really looked at how I used to do things. And if I'm in an environment where I'm at work and I'm in my finance space and I have to do my finance, don't interrupt where I am. 100% focus on what I'm doing. And because I challenge myself, because if I'm not the best of what I'm doing, I don't like being beaten. And that sounds not being, like narcissistic or being arrogant or anything like that. If I've got a target, I want to be the best that I'm capable of doing. So when an opportunity comes where I can say, sure, I'm looking at travel opportunities now, and I'm looking at things where those conversations are going to be with people during the day when I talk to people as well. When you open up to somebody, you say, hey, Kel, I'm here in finance and I want you to get you a loan. You don't do that. You talk to people. I've got to get to know Kel. What can I offer Kel? How can Kel like and learn to like and trust me?
Yes.
So it's being able to stick to the same path, but at the same time, when something is there, stay totally focused. And more importantly, make sure you have a break. Like it's, my relationship at home, I've been with Deb now we're going over 14 years. And she's really taught me to sort of go, there's a time and a place for everything else, because apparently I talk really fast. And, if I get up in the morning, she pulled me up the other day and she said, when you get up in the morning, your head hasn't hit the pillow and you're 100 miles an hour. But I've learned I've got to, stay focused, give her space. But at the same time, when I'm in that direction, I follow that. So being able to manage those bouncing balls, the ones that I choose as my path, and I time delegate that. I'm very, very good now at my time delegation. So, you'd be surprised how many hours you get in a day. You don't have 12 hours anymore. People sit there and go, what do you do after work? As soon as I get back, I'll take calls. But at the same time, I talk to people about travel. I talk to people about, helping people with businesses where they offer gift incentives around travel. So it's always trying to help other people do that. And of course, to tie that together, the Connect Collaborative team is just unbelievable. And we're having a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong. They're not jobs, because I'm not out there, essentially saying I have to survive on that job. My job during the day is my primary box. So everything balances around that. So if instead of me sitting down watching TV at 3 PM or 4 PM till midnight, I'd rather do things that I'm enjoying doing, where I know I can make a difference, So, but I enjoy it. If I didn't like it, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah. Look, what I'm hearing here, Alex, is who you are. What motivates you is making people happy and hanging out with people. You're a people person. All right. You just happen to actually sell a bit of finance, and you actually help them with a bit of travel. But the reality is, and you said it yourself, it's about getting to know the person
100%.
and then meeting them where they're at within a set defined thing. And what you were saying there before, in the productivity world, we call it time blocking. In other words, this time is dedicated to this particular type of task.
Correct.
And that's just a great way to be able to get your mind into the right spot so that you don't end up shifting all over the place.
Correct.
So, mate, there's some real nuggets there, folks. Rewind this podcast, have a listen to those real nuggets. There they are. So, Alex, I'm going to wrap it up now here, and I'm going to ask you, for what is your one hot tip that will help inspire people and keep people moving?
Keep people moving. I actually have a bit of fun at the moment. If you've got a phone app, because let's face it, technology takes up a lot of our time. But my one tip is, I actually downloaded the free app on The Secret. And before I get out of bed every morning, there's a thing called affirmation. And if you hit that and you talk that every single day, you will struggle to feel bad in the morning. So if you can get through that day with those affirmations in mind and remind yourself that afternoon of what you've done, your day's going to go so quick and so cool.
Wow. Now, there's a good one. That is a great one. Alex, it has been a pleasure, as always, mate. We always have some fun and everything chatting out together, but it's been great having you here on the hot seat.
Likewise.
And look forward to catching up with you again when we come back on Tool Time.
I can't wait. Thanks, Kel.
Folks, that's another wrap for another day here on Hot Seat. Alex, an absolute legend, and look forward to actually seeing you all again really, really soon. Thanks for joining us here at Hot Seat. It's been an amazing, amazing event. It is a place where you can actually enjoy and be inspired by the why of others, the drive of the purpose and the passion. Please like and share this podcast with as many people as you can to inspire them to make a difference in this world. Have an awesome day. Unleash.